Yeah, today we will talk about how to repair a leaking manhole. Now, if you have a manhole which is leaking, let's say double bottom tank, then you have to see where is the leak from. If this is the manhole, below that there will be rubber gasket, rubber packing. This is the manhole, and below that will be the steel from which the you have the studs coming out. Now, if the leak is between the foundation of the steel and the rubber gasket from here, so you have to change the rubber gasket. Now, why do we use rubber gasket? If you do not use this rubber gasket, then you'll have steel to steel contact. This is the deck. This is the manhole. Now, if you have a piece of rust here or a piece of dirt, then once you tighten this manhole, the studs, this manhole will come and touch the pieces of rust and dust. So it will be like this is the deck. This is a piece of, let's say, two pieces of rust, and then you have not used the packing. So what will happen, even when the studs are tight, you will get some leakage from this gap. Due to this gap, you will get the leakage from here. So that's why we use a rubber gasket. So when you use a rubber gasket, what happens? This is the deck. You have, let's say, pieces of rust, and you have used a rubber gasket here, and then you have used a manhole on top of that. Now, when you compress this studs, this packing touches the pieces of the rust or dirt, and it becomes like this. This is the deck. This is the pieces of rust, and the packing comes like this and seals it properly. So there is no gap here, and there is no, and this is the manhole cover. So there is no leak. But if you see, there is no leak here, but the leak is from the studs. So this studs has got threads, and there is a nut over here. So you have to see the leak is from the top part of the stud. This is the top part. In case it is from the top part, then you have to open this nut, remove the manhole cover, and put thread sealing tape all over the threads, and then again tighten the nut. So this leak will stop. From the top leak will stop. But if the leak is from somewhere between the nut and the manhole, that means there is not good sealing here. So here you'll have to just remove this nut, and then you have to put here, you have to put a rubber washer. So this is the deck, this is the gasket, the main gasket, this one, and then you have the manhole cover. So this is the cover of the manhole, and these are the studs, and this is the nut. So here you will have a rubber washer. So what you do, you remove the nut, put a rubber washer which looks like this, with the hole in between. So this hole will go on the stud, and on top of the rubber washer use a steel washer. Otherwise what will happen, once the nut becomes tight, the rubber part of the washer might get damaged. So Remove the nut. First put a rubber washer, then a steel washer. So this is the steel washer. This is the rubber washer. And then put the nut. So it will be compressed and you will get a good sealing here due to the rubber washer touching the manhole cover. This is the manhole cover. And there will be no leak from here. No leak.